What is up, everybody? It is Drew, Travel Live Running Abyss here with another deck profile. I'm bringing you a profile on Mathmech today. Now, I brought this deck to locals yesterday, and I haven't played in the locals in a couple months, probably. It's been a while. I as many of you know from, my absence, I have not been enjoying the current state of the game. That being said, though, I ended up getting third place. I went 3-1. I lost round 1 and then I won 3 straight. Round 1 I lost to Trap Tricks. Round 2 I played against Sword Soul, piloted by my brother. Round 3 I played against... what did I play against round 3? I played against a Sprite deck. I don't remember if that was round 3 or 4. I think that was 3. Yeah, it was 3. And then round 4 I played against a Mathmech mirror match. So, as the format goes, all diverse stuff. Like, everything is just diverse now. But I'm going to go ahead and jump right into the profile. It is slightly different than what I played yesterday because I changed stuff up. But I will tell you exactly what I changed up after we go through the main deck. Alright, so let's go ahead and start things off. Okay, so starting with the main deck, we'll go through the Mathmech cards. One circular, obviously. I don't think I have to explain this. It's unfortunate that it's limited now, but hey, we can still play, the deck still functions, and we have a lot of ways to get to circular, so I'm not, I was never hurting if I didn't hard open this card, because there are so many ways to get into it. Then I played 2 diameter. I didn't think 3 was necessary, and there was never a point where I thought I needed a third one, so 2 was perfectly fine. And you'll find that with the rest of my Mathmech cards that I played 2 of. So I played 2 subtraction, 2 sigma, and 2 addition. 2 of each of these were fine. I didn't play nabla or multiplication or any of the other ones. I didn't think they were necessary. They didn't come up. So yeah, these are perfectly fine. And they put in work. They really did put in work. So I thought it was fantastic. There were a lot of times where I had them as extenders. There's also a good amount of times where I opened up just Sigma plus Parallel Exceed, which was pretty crazy. So speaking of Parallel Exceed, I did play 3. I played 3 because I do have desires in case I banish 1. Hopefully I still have 2 left, or 1 left because I'd have 1 in hand. But yeah, this was pretty good. I never banished multiple off of desires. And every game that I drew Exceed, I resolved Exceed. So yeah, pretty darn good. Then I played the Firewall package, so 3 Defensor and 1 Guardian. This was decent. I only drew the Guardian once, I think, so it was fine. I ended up normal summoning it and linking it for Linkuriboh. Or a Linguriboh, I'm sorry, I said Linguriboh. So yeah, that was pretty good. This package was honestly solid. Just opening this package alone, I mean, gets you really, really far combo-wise. So that's obviously important. Then hand traps. I played 3 Veiler, 3 Nib, 3 Ash, 2 Ogre, 2 Crow. So this is where things are different than what I played yesterday. Some of this is accurate, some of it is changed up. So yesterday I didn't play Ogres or Crows, and I didn't play the 3rd Nib in the main deck either. So what I ended up doing instead is I had 3 Imperms and 2 Crossout Designators, so it would be these 5 cards were not in there, and it was the 3 Imperm and the 2 Crossout Designator. After yesterday, I felt like playing these hand traps was significantly better. So yeah, I would do this going forward for sure. But that's the only change to the main deck that I had made. So this is how I would play it now. Yesterday it was a little bit different, but now you know exactly what I would change, so it doesn't even matter. Moving on to the spells though. We have more copies of Circular in that of Sign-Up Mining and Small World. Yeah, I mean, it gets you to whatever you need, which is pretty sweet. You have a lot of bridges that you can do to get to your Circular, so yeah, you shouldn't have an issue getting a Circular at all. Next card, Desires, I already mentioned it before. Card's really good in this deck. It just says draw 2. During your first turn, you search a decent amount, and then you draw like 3 cards most of the time. So if you open Desires, you draw 3. Because you open 2 off this, and then you draw Heat off of Heat Soul on your turn, and then you draw Heat Soul on your opponent's turn. So that's like 4 draws as it is, which is actually crazy. Then I played 1 Called By because it's the God card, and we'll probably see other hand traps. So even if we can't use one of our hand traps, we still have other ones that we can resolve, which is pretty darn good. And then the last 2 cards in the deck are 1 Equation and 1 Super Factorial. These come up almost every single game, especially like I feel like Equation is a must play now because it's just another extender for the deck, and because Circular is at 1, you need as many extenders as you can get, whether it's in your opening board or when you're trying to OTK. So yeah, I think this is good. But that is the main deck, so we're gonna go ahead and hop on over to the extra deck. Alright, so going into the extra deck, before I go through everything, I'm going to preface this by saying I still don't have a copy of the Cyber's Fusion monster from Cyberstorm Access. It's like the D-Save or D-Serve worm or whatever it's called. It's the one that you dump off of the Link 5 Firewall monster. I don't have one yet, so I didn't play with one yesterday. There wasn't a point where it came up anyways, but if I were to play it, I'm not sure what I would cut because I really like what I have for an extra deck right now. I do have to get a copy regardless, so I'm just going to show you guys what I have without that. It didn't come up yesterday though, so yeah. But starting off, we have for the Link ones, Almirage, Lingaribo, and Link Spider. This was all pretty good. I didn't ever summon the Link Spider because anytime I got nibbed, I didn't really have an extender to push forward with to do the G-Golem combo. So yeah, I didn't really summon Link Spider, which is fine, like it happens. Lingaribo I summoned almost every single game. The card was actually insane. How good this card is. Like you should be playing this. Like it's at the point where I had contemplated playing a second one. Like it's just so good. But yeah, those are the Link ones. Then I played 2 Splash Mage, which I think is amazing. This card comes up multiple times for sure. So like you can do it turn 1, and then on your following turn, you can use it to help like facilitate OTKs. So it's really good to help combo off and get your turn 1 combo, and it's also really good to OTK. So I think playing 2 of this is actually correct going forward. I would definitely play 2 if you're considering playing this deck. Then 1 Crystal Heart. Card's good. I don't know. Like it came up yesterday where I summoned this just to get a transcode back, and it was on like a grind game, and it did win me that game. But other than that, I didn't drop it that much. I think I played the card maybe once or twice. Yeah, nothing crazy to say about it, but in theory, it is fantastic. Then I played the 1 update. Obviously, card's really busted. You just OTK your opponent. 1 Cyber's Wicked. This came up a decent amount where I would like get this out and do like a standard combo. Circular gets you into like Super Factorial and Diameter for follow-up with a Heat Soul. So yeah, this card's decent. I searched Diameter a good amount with it, which was really nice. Then the Heat Soul, because it's really crazy. It says draw 2, which is nuts. So yeah, you gotta play it. 1 Transcode, because Transcode is Transcode. You don't have to play 2 because you have like G-Golem and all that stuff. So yeah, 1 Transcode is fine. 1 Access Code, because OTKs are fun and very nice. You just drop this and then your opponent can't really do much. Yeah, 1 Access Code is good. And then I played the Dark Fluid Neo Tempest Terahertz. So this is the one that you would normally dump the Fusion from Cyberstorm Access with. I like I said, I don't have any copies of the card. I forgot to pick one up at my locals when I was there yesterday. But yeah, card's still really good. It did help me push over some bigger monsters, and it did help me push for game at least once. So yeah, card's really solid. Then 2 Alimbertian and 1 Laplacian. these were summoned every single game. I really don't have much else to say. The cards are really, really good. They help you, well, the Allen version helps you combo, and then the Loplation just helps you take your opponent out, which is fantastic. Against the Live Twin Sprite player that I played against, they normal summoned one, I think they summoned Lilla, and they went Lilla effect, and I had an Ash in hand. No, I'm sorry, I had an Ash, I had a Valor in hand, and then I had a Super Factorial set. So I Valored the Lilla, and then chained the Super Factorial to summon this, and I ended up getting rid of the Lilla and a card in hand, which ended up being Sprite Red, which is an even better hit. And then he tried to go starter after that, and then I just ashed the starter, and he had no plays, and he had to scoop it up and go to game 2. And game 2 went pretty similarly. I just OTK'd him. So yeah, but that is the extra deck. We're gonna go ahead and hop on over to the side deck. Alright, so going on the side deck is also different from what I played yesterday, but I'll kind of explain that as we go. The other 2 hand traps I played 2 copy of Bell. Basically, I was like, okay, if I play against Branded, I can just side out like Ghost Ogres or something and side in Bells, because Bell is really, really good in that matchup. It's also really good in the mirror matchup. They go Super Factorial, and you're like, yeah, Bell, which is actually really good. So yeah, 2 Bell. Then I have 2 Designator and 2 Tactics. These cards are just really, really good. I didn't want to lose to Nib all the time, and I did get nibbed a decent amount, so yeah, I didn't see Cross-out Designator either, which is crazy. But yeah, and Talents, I actually didn't side in at all yesterday, I don't think. Maybe I did, and I just don't remember, but I definitely did not see the card, never resolved it, which is fine. Card's still really good, it's just, it didn't come up. Then I have 2 Cyclone and 1 Feather Duster. In addition to that, I have 3 Evenly. I thought about doing 2 Lightning Storm and then the 3rd Bell, but Evenly is really good against Branded. So yeah, it's in here for more than just back row. But I mean, all this stuff is good. As some people may know, Labyrinth just won German Nats today, so we do need back row hate going forward for trap decks. Yeah, but that stuff is still pretty good. And then 3 copies of Dimensional Barrier for going first against pretty much everything in the meta, other than, you know, our deck. Even though you could technically call XYZ and then their Allen version is kind of useless, I still think that this card is probably better off against everything else in the meta. Kashtira, Branded, you know, anything that synchro summons to, Sword Soul, all that kind of stuff. But basically, to tell you what I played differently. So yesterday I did play the Evenly is in the D barrier, and I believe I also played the Feather Duster, and I played the Talents. But these cards were all different. These cards were actually, let's see, there were 3 copies of Droll, and then there were 2 Magnamut and 1 Druid's Worm. So basically it was a Bestial package and a Droll, playset of Drolls. The Bestials came up a decent amount, but I feel like DD Crow is just really good for a lot of reasons, so I ended up changing it to DD Crow. And if you're like ever locked into Cyburst, then it makes the Bestials a little bit worse. So yeah, I think that this is probably a little bit better than what I had before. Honestly, I did not side in Droll once yesterday. I didn't find it to be something that was like needed. I wanted more things for removal for back row, so I put in the 2 Cosmics. I wanted the Bells because, you know, if I play against Branded or anything like that in the future, it's probably good to have. And then the Designators I moved to the side. Basically, I'm just going to side these in when I know I'm going first. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But that's the deck profile. Hopefully everyone enjoyed it. I think this deck is actually still pretty good in the meta. I think that it's worth playing if you have it. If you want to play something else, obviously do whatever you want. I'm not going to tell you what to play. But I think that if you have the deck and you still want to play it, by all means go for it, because it still functions and does what it does best. So yeah, that's the deck profile. Give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload more cool and awesome content just like the video you watched. And for right now, this is Drew, Traveler of the Burning Abyss, signing out.